Alright folks, welcome back to the channel. It is mid-October and we've had a couple of days that are warm days. Today was 74 degrees. Great day, so I managed to escape for the night. Tomorrow will be my final video though of the season, as in 2 days they said the weather's changing. Tomorrow's high is supposed to be right around 59 degrees and on the next day 36. But I have my truck all set up for camping. I am at Jones Pond and this is my site. Look at this. Look at the view right off my site right here. That's pretty cool. Anyways, I wanted to do a video because I've had some people on my campground reviews ask me how I come up with the grades, how I look at things, and how I figure the grade. So I figured, well, I just got all set up. I am getting my dinner ready. My dinner is going to be a shelf to table dinner. Chicken tenders shredded. That's what I'm going to have for dinner tonight. And then I'm going to get my fire going and probably have a few twisted teas. But let's get this going and I'll tell you how I do my campground reviews. Right there's my chicken tenders, shredded. That's what they look like in there. I mean, that's freeze dried, shelf to table. The instructions say just put enough water in to cover the chicken and then let it set for 15 minutes. Let me add a little bit more there. There we go. We'll close this up. And get it all around, and it'll be ready in 15 minutes. So, gotta have my twisted tea. Some of you out there have apparently don't like how I do my campground reviews. Others have told me that I've been spot on. Others have agreed with me, you know, on it. Some of them have said that, oh, I think it's better than what you think it is, and some of them have been, you didn't apparently see the whole campground because it's worse than how you graded it. But anyways, this is how I do things. I do it in the 5 categories, which are your inner roads and sites, facilities, amenities, staffing, and price point. So I'm going to hit on each one of those of how I come up with the grade. Now, I had a person say that I said that I liked my site, and how can I give it a, I think it was a 6.5 if you liked your site. And I'm like, it's not the grade of my site. It's the grade of the sites that I go out and check. And when I do that, it's not just my site. I may love my site, and I will go out and I will look at other sites. Sites that, you know, you back down in from the road, are they level? I look at other rigs, and if they have a lot of blocking under one side, you know, 4 to 5 inches. If their tongue jack is all the way down and the rig is still obviously not level, I take all that into account as I walk around the campground and look at it. Roads. If the roads are all paved, doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to get a 10 in inner roads and sites. So I kind of break it down in 2 ways. One, I look at the roads, and if the roads are crappy, and I say, you know, these roads are really bad, but the sites are pretty decent. The sites might get a higher score, like a 7, and the road might get a 6. And if you take the divide those by 2, you really get right around 6.5. And the reason why I've had those 5 categories is so I don't have like 10 categories. So inner roads and sites are basically two things that I look at. The roads, the condition of the roads in. Are the roads, is it tight to move rigs around? Are there tree branches scrubbing along the side of the campers? Is there tree branches hitting the roofs? If you meet another camper, could you potentially be in problems? Can you back into your site very well? All that stuff plays a role in what I look at. It's not just my site and my traveling on the road. I walk around and I see roads that are rutted. Broken pavement. All that stuff can be fixed. And if they're not making any attempts to fix it, they're not going to get a good grade. So, for an example, 8th Lake, one of my last campground reviews, the roads were not in good shape at all. I actually gave the roads like a 4. But the sites were pretty decent. There were sites there that were not level. Some sites that I saw the rig, the tongue jack all the way down, the jacks all the way down in the back trying to keep, and the rigs aren't level. But the majority of the sites were decent. So I might have gave them a 7 on sites, a 5 on the roads, or a 4, and I still gave them a 6.5. And so that's how I get inner roads and sites. Facilities. Facilities are your bathrooms, your showers, your dump station, your water spigots, and is there one water spigot for a campground that has 170 sites, or are there water spigots located throughout the campground? Is there one bathroom for a campground that has 80 sites, or there's bathrooms centrally located? Are the bathrooms in good working order? Are they do they have hot water to wash your hands and shave, or do they not? All that takes place. The showers are a lot of places where they lack. And I know I had somebody say, why do you need 4 hooks? Are you looking to be in a spa and don't want to get your feetsies wet or something like that? You apparently haven't taken a shower at some of these DEC campgrounds. They clean them once a day. And so when people are in there, if you go in there and take a shower in the evening, like I do after I come back from hiking or paddling, and I go in there, the floors are wet. The floors are wet, so you're not setting anything down on the floor. So for 4 hooks, normally the showers don't have any shelves in them, so you can't have any place where you're putting your shampoo and your soap. So you got to have 1 hook for your shower bag that's right there by the shower, so you can reach over to your shower bag. You got to have another hook to hang your towel on. You got to have another hook to put the clothes on that you're changing into, and you got to have another hook for the clothes that you're changing out of. You're not going to put them down on the floor because it's wet, and that's why I say a minimum of 4 hooks, and I take points off for that. That's the way it's going to be. But so all those factors count on the score. Now the showers and the bathrooms count more than having water spigots all over and a dump station, but that's part of the facilities. Amenities. If there's a campground that has, a ton of amenities, they're probably going to get a good score. But a lot of the DEC campgrounds that I review, they sell firewood, they have some trails nearby, they may have a boat launch or a hand launch, and usually sometimes they're not in very good shape. And amenities is, the more you have, the better your score is going to be. I think the highest grade I've ever handed out on amenities, I think, is pretty close to 9. I didn't give them a perfect 10 because some of the amenities that they had, they closed during our stay, so that played a role in it too. But that was a private campground, not a DEC campground. The next one is staffing. I got accused that if I haven't had a bad encounter with the staff, why am I giving them a bad grade? I don't think a 6 or a 7 is a bad grade out of 10. I think anything from 0 to 3 is a poor grade. From 3.1 to 6 is okay. 6 to 8 would be good. 8 and above would be very good. 10 would be excellent. But there's always a few things that you see around that for staffing. Is there areas, are they keeping up with things? And when I was in the fire department and I was chief, I would always make an emphasis to tell the younger guys, you know, when you're in this business, you can do 10,000 things right and look so good. It only takes one action for everybody to forget those 10,000 things. And one action could ruin it for everything. That is so true. So if I'm sitting at my site and I see a kid whiz by at 30 miles an hour on the UTV, you know, that's not good. He's not following the rules of the campground like everyone else has to follow the rules of the campground. So those are the little things I tuck away. And, you know, I may not have had any bad encounters with staff, but just because I haven't had any bad encounters does not mean they automatically earn a 10. I look at various things. Are they actually doing the cleaning in the bathrooms? Are the soap dispensers being kept with soap in them? You know, the hand soap. Where they do have paper towels, are the paper towels there? Or are they, you know, you're hitting the thing and they're empty? Are the bathrooms being cleaned well enough? Sometimes it's hard to polish a turd at some of these bathrooms, but that's how I score the staffing. And the final one, the price point, I get a lot of people that tell me that the Reserve America fee I should not hold against the campgrounds. I am holding it against the DEC campgrounds because who owns the campgrounds? The state. Who has the contract with Reserve America? The state. If enough people say, hey, I think you need to look at this, $7.25 is a little bit steep. If you want to make a one-night reservation, it's $7.25. If you want to make a 14-night reservation, it's $7.25. I think it should be kind of, if you're doing it for one night, you shouldn't pay the same fee for one night. You know, it could be a fee that is graduated for the nights that you're staying there. But I think $7.25 Reserve America fee is steep for what they offer on the website. Now, if you could click on a site on the website and see pictures of it, not just a picture of it from the road, but if you could see the pictures of it looking that way, pictures of it looking that way, pictures of it looking this way, back at the road, so you get an idea how close the camper is next to you. You know, you could get a site, and on their little map, it looks like the sites are far apart on each side, and you get there, and their fire pit is just on the other side of your camper, and your awning is over their fire pit next door. Those are the things that Reserve America could improve on, and that's where the state needs to go after Reserve America and see if they would do that, or lower their fee structure. But that is how I do the campground reviews. If you don't like them, I guess you don't have to watch them. It's my channel, and that's how I'm going to do them. Because I do have apparently struck a nerve on one of the campground reviews I did, because I had a fellow that was a little upset and wrote out a long paragraph telling me how stupid I was doing things and this and that, and I just shook my head and said, how stupid I'm doing things? How stupid are you to watch my video, then spend what, 20-25 minutes typing out a paragraph this long for something that you didn't like? Why didn't you just scroll on? But I'm gonna go check my dinner and see how things. Okay, so let's see, it's been about 15 minutes. Let's see how the chicken tenders, shredded from shelf to table, are tonight. Kathy, the owner of the company, it's where I get these from. This is one of the ones I bought. She didn't send to me, but she sometimes sends me a couple of new ones and says, try them out and tell me what you think. They smell really good and they taste really good. Yeah, I could deal with this. I should have brought a vegetable with me. So, shelf to table, they have all sorts of different types of food. Asian chicken, fried rice and vegetable, ham, dices. Go to the website, shelftotable.com, and you'll see that Kathy has a whole variety of food, freeze-dried food up there, including desserts like cheesecake, snack food, apples, banana chips, And I even think that she has like Skittles on there too. But if you're looking for food for camping, hiking, paddling, or even emergency preparedness in your home, because we're seeing what a lot of bad weather can do in this country. You know, everywhere from the flooding in New Mexico to the flooding in North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, the hurricanes in Florida. Heck, if you follow my channel, you know that my mom, with Hurricane Debbie, got flooded out. She had to be evacuated from her house. So, you know, having some of this for emergency preparedness is not a bad idea, because you can buy this and basically forget it, because the expiration date on this is 2043. So that is what, 19 years from now? So that it makes sense to where you can buy this. It's a little bit more expensive, but when you need it because of a disaster and you're trapped where you are, comes in very, very handy. And it isn't that my sister lives down in North Carolina. She is okay, but man, she's sending me pictures and stuff of everything that's going on down there. I've got some I got some people that I've rescue. They're in the rescue units down there, that they are just overwhelmed. So, you know, you can prepare and have this stuff in your house, but if your house gets washed away, this gets washed away too. Yes, I understand that. But if you could be trapped in your house up on the mountain right now in North Carolina, and if you had a month's supply of freeze-dried food sitting in your cabinet, there you go, a month's supply. But I'm gonna finish my dinner. I got my lights turned on. I got to get my fire going. And I also got my shower set up over here. Yes, I'm going to take a shower out here. I worked yesterday and into last night. So, in a little bit today, I need to take a shower. But I don't expect any visitors tonight because it's midweek. Oh, the furry kind could come in tonight. I don't know, but we'll see. I'll let you know in the morning. All right. Good morning, folks. It's a breezy morning here on the pond, and not bad temperature-wise. I bet you it's about 62, 63 degrees. Not too bad. Slept like a rock last night in the truck. Holy cow. I went into the truck last night and I turned on my phone to listen to a podcast. I don't think I heard 30 seconds of it, and I was out. But I thought I had a visitor last night, but I set up my light system that I've showed you before. It has a remote control, and so I set that up. And yesterday when I got here, I set that up. I had the remote control in the truck, and it was the wind. The wind knocked something over here. I heard it. And it was this morning. It's probably about 10 minutes to 6 or so, 6 o'clock. And I kind of looked out the window and I didn't see anything. It was still dark. So I grabbed the remote there and I turned it on, and I didn't see anything out here, but I could hear the wind going. So I'm like, must have been the wind. But today, final day of the adventures. It's always a sad day. Always a sad day. Right now I'm warming up water for my coffee. And I don't know. I think this morning will be just a coffee morning. Alright folks, you watched all the way through. Thanks for that. If you liked the video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, click the subscribe button down below. Continue to follow the adventure. And remember, folks, tomorrow is no guarantee for any one of us. So disconnect from that Wi-Fi, connect to this out here. You won't be disappointed.